Let's get started with the first one. The first one is mountain. Mountain, very tall mountains, as you can see in this picture. A mountain is the highest type of land. The highest type of land. The most high. Of course, don't say most high. It's the highest. It's the highest place that you can go on earth is in a mountain. Where is the highest place you can go on earth? Do you know the highest mountain? It's Mount Everest, right? Mount Everest is the highest place, a very tall mountain. Mount Everest is the highest place on land. That would be a mountain. What about a plain? If you talk about a mountain, it's like the opposite of a mountain is a plain, because mountains are very tall and mountains are very steep. But a plain is very flat. A plain is a large, flat piece of land. You can see forever, right? You don't see any trees, you don't see any mountains, you don't see any hills, just very flat land, a very large plain. And usually animals live on the plains. Large groups of animals will live together and run across the plains, and they eat the plants that grow on the plain. Okay, we also have a desert, and a desert is a very different type of place. It's a very beautiful place, as you can see, but it's also a difficult place to live. Why is it so difficult? Because a desert is a very dry area of land. There's not much water, or very, very little water in a desert. So plants and animals can't live there. It's very difficult for living things to live in a desert. You see these people here, they're just passing through. They have to get out of the desert to find some plants and water in order to survive, right? So they're just passing through. Okay, we also have a river. Now, a river is much different than a desert, right? A river's got lots of water in it, right? And usually we find rivers in mountains, but also on plains. This river is going through a mountain here, and it's going pretty fast. A river is a large stream of moving water. Moving water. The river means that the water is moving. If it's not moving, we call it something different. We'll get to that in a second. But the river means that the water is moving. Now there's another word here that's interesting, a stream. So we have streams and we have rivers. Streams are usually smaller, right? If there's just a little bit of water and maybe you can step across it, we call that a stream. Rivers are larger. It's more difficult to cross a river. You can't jump over it. You can't step over it. You have to walk through it or be very, very careful. Sometimes you have to swim across a river, but be careful crossing a river. Don't cross the river unless an adult is with you, or maybe there's a bridge, or the river isn't moving very fast. But be very careful around rivers because it's moving water. It could be dangerous. Okay. Also, we have valleys. You will find, where do you find valleys? Do you find valleys on plains? No, you wouldn't find valleys and plains, because valleys mean that you have two sides, right? Plains are very flat. So you would find a valley where? That's right, in the mountains, right? So on either side you have mountains, and between the mountains you have a valley, because a valley is the lowland between mountains and hills. Okay? So when you have a mountain, right, the land goes up on either side. Between those, you have a valley. And some valleys are very beautiful. People put houses in there. Of course, valleys are easy that you can come up into the mountains. You go through the valley, and that's how you get up into the mountains, an easier way than climbing up the side of the mountain, which is very difficult. Okay. Remember I said that a river is moving water. If the water is not moving, then we can call it a lake. One thing we can call it is a lake. A lake is a large area of fresh water, right? Rivers and streams are usually fresh water. And if the river stops moving and it grows in area, we call that a lake. And of course we find many lakes in mountains, but you can find lakes in all sorts of places, right? Also on the plains, in hills, but in mountains also especially. This is a very beautiful lake in the mountain. It's a small lake. Some lakes are really, really big. You can't see across them. But if it's fresh water, we call it a lake, not an ocean, right? So fresh water is a lake. Okay, also we have a hill. A hill is just a higher part of a land, right? Sometimes, of course, you have plains, right? And sometimes the plains will stop and the land will rise gently. Not very steeply like a mountain, but a very gentle rise. And the land won't go up very high. We call these areas hills. And especially if you have a lot of hills, it's very gentle. You can call them rolling hills. Rolling hills. Because it seems like, whoa, rolling hills, it seems like the land is rolling, right? It seems very gentle and very nice. So hills are a higher area of land, and they're fun to run up and run down. And when the winter comes and there's snow on the hill, you can take a sled and slide down the hill. Okay. We also have an interesting type of land called an island. In the ocean, you can find islands, but you can also find islands in lakes sometimes too, if the lake is very big. An island is just a piece of land with water all around it, like these. We have two islands here. There's water all around these pieces of land, right? So we call these islands. By the way, we don't pronounce the S in island. It's just island. Not island, island, island. Okay, so an island is a piece of land with water all the way around it. Some islands are very beautiful, especially in the Pacific Ocean. Very beautiful, nice beaches. They're very beautiful islands in the ocean.
Lesson 2. Celebration of Holidays. Celebrate. To do something special for a day or an event. Custom. The usual way of doing something in a group or country. Calendar. A set of pages that shows days, weeks, and months of a year. National holiday. A day to honor an important person or event. Hero. A man or woman who is very brave and tries to help others. Folktale. An old traditional story of a group of people. Religion. Faith in the existence of a God. Belief. A strong feeling of trust in someone or something. Honor. To show respect for someone or something.